You're listening to The John and Heidi Show. Now, featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Ferris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris. How you doing, Dan?
Doing all right.
Good to have you here.
Doing okay. Doing okay.
Love it when you match the excitement level here. All right.
It's there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things to celebrate. That's
Okay.
I'm feeling pressured. That's the problem. It's Babe Ruth Day.
Oh, nice.
That started back in 1947.
That's awesome.
It was mainly Yankees fans going nuts. Now it's
A lot of folks,
it's the whole darn planet.
Everybody.
Babe Ruth. You want to see a great showing of Babe Ruth in spiritual form? Just watch Sandlot, one of the greatest little kid baseball movies ever. And Babe does show up. Comes right out of the closet.
The Big Bambino
into Benny's room. Gives him some great advice. It is
based on a true story.
National Prime Rib Day.
Ooh.
Oh, John loves
So
prime
you probably
rib.
want to hit the bank, get some financing.
But it does not love him back.
It gets sick every time I eat it.
Really?
Yeah.
He does, but he eats it anyway.
But I eat it anyway because I mow through
Hang
it.
on. Yeah. Because it's also Tell a Story Day. Okay, go.
Oh.
But it needs to have a beginning, middle, and an end, John.
So every time I eat prime rib, I love it.
Yep.
And then like an hour later, it's not loving me.
I see.
And then that's the end.
There you go.
Well, you don't want the details.
And yet you dive in anyway.
Then I do it.
Knowing what you know.
And there have been times that we had leftovers, like Heidi didn't finish hers, and we brought it home, and I had it in the fridge. And
then he's sick 2 days in a row.
then, I usually, even after getting sick, I'll go, I'm going to top that off with some more prime rib. I'm trying to build up an immunity, but it's just not working.
Okay.
End of story.
The end.
See, he wasn't good at it. That's why he said it needs an end. He would go for 3 hours if I let him.
Yeah, I would. 3.5 is my limit. So.
And then when the earth cooled, Ulysses S. Grant was born this day. Pretty phenomenal human being. Of course,
Do you know what
he
his
was
real
Union
name is?
Army general, 18th President of the United States.
That's fantastic.
America? Yeah.
Do you know what his real name is?
I can't believe.
Ulysses Hiram.
No, it's Hiram Ulysses.
That was close.
What is the S
Simpson.
for? Is
That's
it
his
really?
mother's maiden name.
Okay.
He changed it to Ulysses Simpson.
I'll be darned. Didn't know that.
He was Hiram Ulysses Grant, and his initials were Hug, and he didn't like that.
Oh,
that's adorable.
Oh, that is kind of dorbs.
Yeah.
I say
But
dorbs.
of all the people, you think he's a huggy guy? Probably not.
I didn't know him, John.
Yeah, he's general. He's a bad mamba
Even
jamba.
generals need a hug.
Okay,
That's
and
true.
considering this is Tell a Story Day and you did one about prime rib, why don't you do a story about Ulysses S. Grant, John? You just go, brother.
He never used to smoke, and then there was a photo that was famous during the Civil War of him smoking
He's
a
a
cigar.
stogie guy. He looked great with a
Because
cigar.
he was smoking a cigar. He got so many cigars sent to him that he ended up getting throat cancer.
Oh, that's
Because
too
of that-
bad.
that-
Actually, that's what he
photo.
died from.
Yeah.
That's absolutely
Yeah,
true.
it's all because of a photo in a newspaper.
Okay,
Thanks,
you can,
journalists.
you can catch this amazing radio talent Saturdays and Sundays from noon to 4 right here on Sunny 93.3. Casey Kasem born this day.
Oh, yeah.
Casey Kasem.
Love
Count him down.
Casey.
With America's Top 40.
Yeah.
When we first started the radio station, our daughter called us one time.
Here we go. See, it's Tell a Story Day.
It is Tell a Story
Here's
Day.
another one. No matter what I say, he's got some arcane little.
She called and she goes, "Hey, I was just watching cartoons, and that guy who works for you, Casey Kasem, he was the voice of Shaggy."
That's true.
That was,
It's like
that
she
was
said,
pretty adorable.
The guy who works for you? I'm like, oh, yeah, he works for us.
Well, technically, sorta.
All right. Tell a Story Day is fun.
Paul Ace Frehley, guitarist, for Kiss, the worst American rock and roll band ever,
Oh, damn.
is 71. That's my opinion.
That is your
I can have
opinion.
my opinion, First Amendment and all that.
Well, then I'm going to skip my story on that. You don't even deserve it.
No, I've got a story about Kiss. I'm not going to tell it. I've only walked out on 2 concerts in my life. They were one of them.
Who was the other?
Actually, it was Alice Cooper
Oh, wow.
back in the 70s.
Ah.
Strange, huh?
We've
Yeah.
only walked out on 2. One was Journey and the other was Hall & Oates.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And they weren't terrible. We had a long drive, and we're like, you know what? This is not what we were expecting anyway. So let's just hit the road.
See, and I saw Hall & Oates when they first broke after they dropped a band
Oh, they were
So, I mean,
fantastic.
they were
but
amazing.
Now they're trying to mix
They don't
up
like
their
each other.
songs, and their
Yeah, they don't like
songs are
e-
all.
they were standing
you couldn't
50
even
feet
recognize
apart.
them anymore.
Each had their own rug.
Son of a gun.
Weird.
Yeah. It
Well,
was
things
no
change,
show.
man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure Kiss now, they're probably phenomenal. Oh!
Killed me.
Oh, man, I'm
crack a
killing
rib
you.
again.
It was 1937, this very day, the very first United States Social Security payment is made.
How much was it back then?
In 37? I don't know. All I know is, according to records, recipient was heard to say, "He can't be serious. Is this a joke? And how much cat food do I buy with this?" It was 1965, and this indeed was a game changer. A gentleman by the name of R.C. Duncan patents the disposable diaper, names it Pampers.
Oh, wow.
Cute.
Kind of caught on, didn't it?
And I think about that, my mother with all these boys. I mean, before this,
Yeah.
I mean,
Cloth diapers.
It was cloth. You're washing,
Yeah.
you're rinsing.
Laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thinking of that. Yeah.
Unbelievable. 1994. This just kind of confuses me. 1994, this day, former U.S. President Richard Milhouse Nixon buried in the Nixon Library
Yeah. In the garden.
in Yorba Linda, California. So can you check him out? Or
No,
how does that work?
But we
He's
have
buried.
been there.
Yeah. There's.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
We
Nice
have.
gravesite. Our son, we were going to go
Tell a
to
story.
Disney.
Here we go. It's Tell a Story Day.
It is.
Okay, John, I'm just going to close my eyes. I won't be sleeping.
Picture this, Dan.
But I am going to close my eyes.
We were staying right next door to Disneyland. We were going to go to Disneyland with our son, and he instead found a brochure for the Richard Nixon Library and said, "I don't want to go to that other place. I want to go here instead." And we
went
saved
to
a
the
bunch of
Nixon
money by
Library instead of
skipping Disney.
Disneyland.
Did you have him tested?
Yeah, no, he's been weird ever since.
He loved it. We were there all day.
We were. They had to boot us out.
Yeah.
It's like, time to go.
Coming up, it is Wednesday. We'll be giving stuff away, and it is Tell a Story Day, so we'll be hearing much more from John as we go on. Meanwhile, I know, you know, we all know, we just bust a move here.
Gonna do that. It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris.
Are you looking for an energy drink that's natural, lasts longer, has no dyes, no artificial flavorings, and no sugar? Blitz Energy Drink is the answer. With only 10 calories per serving and 200 milligrams of caffeine, our formula will help increase your focus, endurance, mood, and energy levels. Order now at drinkblitzenergy.com. Use promo code RADIO20 to save 20% and get free shipping on any canister. drinkblitzenergy.com. Promo code RADIO20. That's drinkblitzenergy.com.
Time now for Back to the Basics in Healthcare with Balanced Life Chiropractic, and we have Dr. Harley joining us. How you doing, Dr. Harley?
Hey, John, I'm doing great. It's wonderful weather we're having kind of this week, but doing good.
It's been this on again, off again, spring/winter. Now, what'll happen is we'll go right to summer eventually.
Right, and that's sad. I love spring. Spring's my
Yeah.
favorite season, but we really haven't had any.
Yeah, we get it for like a day or two, and then it's cold, and then it's nice. So we'll see what we never know. We never know what's going to happen. But one of the things you and I are talking about ahead of time here is how important stretching is. And that's something that you wouldn't necessarily think instantly, you know, chiropractic and stretching, but they go hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the biggest things I recommend to my patients is you need to be stretching, even if it's 5 minutes every so often throughout the day. But if you're sitting all the time, it's so important to stretch and get moving, because if we're not moving around, we start losing that mobility. And especially as we get older, it's very much use it or lose it. So a lot of older people, they start noticing they're getting weaker or they're stiffer all the time. Well, yeah, you're not moving as much, so it's going to continue to get worse.
Now, when it comes to stretching, it's not like you have to do this for an hour. This can be a pretty simple thing, isn't it?
Right, yeah, you don't have to do like a whole yoga session every time you do any sort of stretching. It really depends if you're sitting a lot, standing a lot, what's going on. But even just as simple as like reaching up, trying to like touch the ceiling. Now, granted, you might not be able to touch the ceiling, but like raising your arms up, bending side to side, like all sorts of different kind of moves. If you're sitting, just reaching underneath your chair and like holding the bottom side of your chair and then moving your head around, because that's going to lock out your shoulders, helping you get a better stretch of those big shoulder muscles. So those are like some easy things to do when you're sitting at your desk, or just doing some like light lunges or toe touching, that kind of stuff. Like that's going to help with your hips and your low back. Some movement. Movement is so good for you because one, it helps with mobility. Two, it helps with actually blood flow through your body. So it can help get some of that stiffness out by getting fresh blood into those joints and those muscles that are really stiff. It's also good just in general for you're able to move around and walk, because if you're, especially balance wise with older people, if you have very limited mobility, your balance is going to suffer. So those are all good things to be doing while you're stretching, as well as helps with aches and pains. If you're waking up in the morning, you're really stiff, get moving around a little bit, before you go to bed, do a short, stretching session. That's going to really help just with your quality of sleep as well.
You can even stretch right there in bed. So like our puppy dog, when she wakes up, I'll see her just like stretch and move. And really that, I go, look how that looks like it feels really good.
Right.
So before you even get out of bed, you can stretch. You don't have to be in a special place to do any of this.
Exactly. Yeah. There's so many different times to do it. And if you've been sitting on the couch for a couple hours, like, get up after the movie's done and move around, stretch, or on TV commercial breaks or whatever. Just get up and move.
And that's kind of what yoga is, really. It's like just stretching a lot, I think, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, basically it's a good movement flow, basically, because you're flowing from one movement to another, and you can do as short as 5 minutes or as over an hour. Some people probably go hours, depending on how much you love yoga.
The downward dog or whatever I don't know any of those yoga.
I mean, that is one, and that's a lot of times when people ask for stretches, like, it's called this in yoga. So if they need to look up how to do it, they can, find that out.
If somebody would like to connect with Balanced Life Chiropractic and maybe chat a little more about chiropractic and how they can make that part of their life, how do they get a hold of you guys?
Yeah, we'd love to talk to them, either letting them know how chiropractic is going to help with those aches and pains and help with mobility, as well as recommend stretches and stuff like that. We'd love to talk to them. And so a good way is just giving us a call at 605-215-1785 or shooting us a message on our Facebook page, Balanced Life Chiropractic.
Very nice. You can also find them online at balancedlifesd.com.
Join us in October for The Sands, a week of music and fun that's been described as the best week ever by many guests. This year we have more icons and more fun. Loverboy, Belinda Carlisle, Lou Gramm, Vanilla Ice, Samantha Fox, Firehouse, and many more already on the schedule. Plus, more announcements coming soon. Plan to join us October 25th through the 30th at Planet Hollywood Beach Resort Cancun. This all-inclusive event will be the time of your life. Learn more now at radiotravelgroup.com.
And now stuff Dan finds interesting. Yeah.
It is time for Stuff Dan Finds Interesting. Dan, what do you find interesting on this Wednesday?
Before we pull the trigger on that, we have to give a little something away because it is
That's
Wednesday.
right.
It is Wednesday.
Day, and the good friends Mike and Darren and the crew at Tire Motive.
Amazing people,
Love
by
them.
the way.
Well, I have been a customer of theirs for almost 2 decades now.
Yeah, they're good people.
Never had a bad moment. Never had a
My
bad
favorite
moment.
thing is if you get the opportunity,
See,
go
tell a
there.
story, Dan.
No, I'm saying go there with Dan sometime. The
Oh,
way they
Lord.
treat Dan is just amazing.
It's horrifying.
fantastic.
It's so funny because they love him. They love Dan. So when
And me.
yeah, all of us. But when we go in there, I've seen him talk to like regular customers. They don't do that, but
He
because
told me, hurry up, lady.
no, it's the coolest thing ever. I'm like, you should. Treat
I love it. That's
you
what I
should
love
treat all your
about going
customers
there.
this way. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
And we have a certificate good for 1 free oil change,
Here we
and
go.
we're talking about whatever it takes. If your car runs synthetic, it's up to a $50 value, depending.
Clappers ready. Hands.
Lisa Sandberg, come on down.
Lisa.
Congratulations.
Get it done. I tripped across this story, and it's something I just find fascinating. Some states do, some states don't. Capital punishment, putting people to death
Oh, yeah.
for some pretty heinous weaselosity.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I'm all for it.
So, Dateline, Tennessee, and apparently last Thursday, Governor Bill Lee issued a temporary reprieve on the execution of Oscar Franklin Smith.
Okay.
About 1 hour before they were going to pull the trigger on a little lethal injection. But
So-
what I'm always interested in, he had already ordered his last meal. Okay.
So did he get to eat it anyway?
That's a good question, but he ordered a double bacon cheeseburger, deep dish apple pie, and vanilla bean ice cream. That sounds like something I would order.
I'd go
Yeah,
for
I
that.
would order that.
I'd do
All right.
prime rib though, but
Smith is 72. He murdered his ex-wife and her 2 kids from a previous marriage.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, he's going down at some point.
why did they
just
get the
not right
reprieve
now.
then?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
I don't know.
insane.
Pressure from something or whatever. So I looked into it, and I've got 3 awful people that you probably know and what they had for their last meal.
Oh, this is interesting.
It is interesting.
It is.
John Wayne Gacy. He was the clown dude, right?
Yeah.
Dressed as a clown.
Charged with 33 counts of murder, most of which were buried under his house. Which
Yeah,
is
not a
just
great
kinda
dude.
weird. John Wayne Gacy ordered 12 fried shrimp, a bucket of original recipe KFC, and a pound of strawberries.
Oh wow.
What's interesting about that is he had actually managed 3 KFC restaurants.
Okay.
He was probably jonesing for it.
He was jonesing
Yeah.
for it.
I bet they didn't put that on a billboard anywhere.
American terrorist, Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh, 168 counts of murder.
yeah, that was a bad deal.
He just ordered up 2 pints of mint chocolate chip ice cream.
That's it.
Now, a lot of states, they do have like a dollar amount you can use. For instance, going back to Tennessee, we were talking about, it's $20.
Okay.
Here, you've got $20 to spend.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
And depending on where you are, it isn't going to, in some places, for instance, Ted Bundy.
Okay.
He did crimes all over the country. He was finally busted in Florida, where he went down. He got the electric chair in Florida, went down on 35 counts of murder. Declined his last meal, but Florida, their penal system has a traditional last meal, which Ted was served.
Okay.
T-bone, medium rare.
Wow.
Eggs over easy, hash browns, toast with butter and jelly, milk and juice.
That's their traditional.
That
That's
is
a weird
traditional
meal.
in Florida. I think it
Steak
sounds
and eggs.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's just bizarre, though.
Yeah. Huh.
You know, okay, let's say, and John, it's just a matter of time. You're going to prison.
Oh, probably.
Okay.
Crimes against humanity is what it'll be listed as.
That's what it
And it's
would
really
be.
going to be just telling way too many stories.
What would you order?
Prime rib.
It makes you sick, John.
I don't. If I'm going to be done anyway, it doesn't matter.
Okay, Heidi?
It would actually be kind of funny to see somebody getting lethal injection and all of a sudden they all over that
Would
table.
you stop it? It's like, well, apparently his last meal did not agree with him. You're gonna need
It would definitely
Gonna need a hose.
I would definitely have French fries for absolutely certain. There would have to be fries involved.
From where?
McDonald's.
Okay.
And I would probably do a Big
Dan,
Mac.
how about you, Dan?
Yeah,
what's
what would you
your
get?
last meal going to be?
Oh, I have to have a chocolate malt involved.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Like for sure.
Yeah,
And yeah, I'm pretty simple. Probably just a nice steak.
yeah, steak's good.
Maybe some waffles.
You know
if
what we
you really
should do
think
now?
about it, you're going to be too nervous to eat any of that anyway.
Hey, guys, here's what I think we should do. We should, for lunch today, we should have what we just said was going to be our last meal. Because you never know when your last meal really is going to be.
That's kind of true.
Today's the day. I'm taking you guys both out. You're easy. Just McDonald's fries. Dan and I are going to feast like kings.
That's what they used to tell me in high school.
There you go.
Hey, Dan, thanks for coming in, man.
Hey, yeah, I just thought that that was interesting. And I'll let you know when 72-year-old Oscar Smith, who's on reprieve, finally
Yeah.
gets thrown under the bus in Tennessee.
Keep us up to date. It is the John and Heidi Show Bonus Hour with Dan Ferris.
What can I say that I haven't already said about bettercreditcards.com? It's a website. You go there to get a better credit card. Okay, that's really probably all I need to say for most of you, but I still have time left, so how about this? At bettercreditcards.com, we have different kinds of credit cards, some with better points and perks, some designed to help you build your credit. Whatever stage of life you happen to be in, we want to help. Give yourself a little credit. bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Wednesday, April 27th, 2022. Equities resumed their downward trend Tuesday, reversing Monday's rebound on renewed fear of the FOMC. The tech-heavy NASDAQ Composite led the move with a loss close to 4% at the low of the session. The NASDAQ Composite is a growth-oriented index, and those stocks, particularly those that rely on debt to fuel their growth, are sensitive to interest rates and to the FOMC. Later this week, the selling may pick up momentum after the PCE price index is released. The index is expected to show another strong gain in year-over-year inflation and will start the second year of above-target consumer inflation gains. Regardless of the PCE data, the FOMC is on track to raise rates when it meets again in April. Weaker than expected data may reduce the urgency and pace at which they raise the rates, but will not remove the need for higher rates. The takeaway, the cost of business is going to go up when the Fed raises interest rates, and that may send the economy into a recession and the market into a tailspin. This report from MarketBeatMinute.com.